Dr. Fuller, can you talk about BAEO and why you started it and how you started it?
Yeah, it's really pretty straightforward. When I stepped down, well, first of all, I have been a supporter of parental choice since the 80s and was involved with the effort to get the voucher program started here in Milwaukee. Well, when I became the superintendent, there was an agreement with the board. Because first of all, they were all mad. People don't realize this. The vote was 9-0 for me to be the superintendent, but it was really 5-4. But it was just 9-0 because, you know, they was trying to act like it was unanimous. But it wasn't. It was a big battle. People didn't want me up in there. You know, that's a fact. So, and so in fact, at my first meeting with the board, they wouldn't even let me talk. They were so mad that they had to deal with me that they didn't even want me to talk. I had a plan. They were like, we don't want to hear that. but anyway, so I had to make an agreement with the board that I would not go out and support vouchers. But my other agreement with the board is y'all can't ask me to go out and oppose vouchers because I ain't doing it. Because I support it. Now, I ain't going to be out publicly talking about vouchers. Okay, so I was just talking about what we're going to do to improve MPS. I got a lot of ideas about what to do. So when I stepped down, I resigned, basically. They did not fire me. You know, I resigned. I didn't ask them to buy me out. I had just signed a new 2-year contract, but I did not ask them for that. Because I thought it was unethical for me to make them buy me out. So, and use up all of the taxpayers' money that should go to the kids to buy me out. So I quit. And so when I quit, I then, said what I'm going to do is I'm going to become very involved in the national movement. So back then, there were relatively few black people who were talking about parental choice. So I was an anomaly, a black person who supported parental choice. So I started getting all these invitations to speak all around the country, and I get up and speak with all white people. So some group gave me an award. I think it was CR, some nice award, nice big plate and everything. And everybody was all dressed up, So I got up there, and it's one of those nights I just couldn't take it no more. So I said, excuse me, this ain't gonna work. We cannot have a movement talking about black kids, ain't no white people doing this. So after I said that, the question was, well, who gonna do something about it? So you know how you talk yourself into a job, a mission, or not a job, but work is a better way to describe it. So I decided that we needed to, the first thing I decided was we needed to have a meeting of black people so we could even understand what we were opposing. Because most black people just, I ain't for that. But if you say, what is it you not for? They could not tell you. They just ain't for that. I ain't for that.
Yeah.
So this is true. So I decided, well, I just want to do, I think we need to have a meeting. And you got to realize this is back in 1998 when I first started thinking about this. So as I was moving around the country, whenever I see a black person in the room, there'd be one or two up in there. I get their cards. And so I collected about 7 cards. It wasn't like it was an overwhelming number. So I asked 7 people to come together with me to plan a meeting. And I said, the way we're going to plan this is, I want each of you all to go back and bring 5 people. So we actually had 30 people sat down, and we planned the first, what we ended up calling symposiums. And the idea was to have a symposium for us to look at what is a voucher, what is a tax credit, what is a tax deduction, what's the difference between tax deduction and tax credit, what are charter schools, what's the difference between an instrumentality charter school and a non-instrumentality charter school, what are private school scholarships versus tax-supported vouchers. So it was to look at this, what is homeschooling? to look at this whole range of options, right? And to try to understand it so that if we were going to be opposed, we would at least know what we were opposing. So we put together the first symposium in February of 1999. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At Marquette.
At Marquette. And then we actually had it at the Hilton Hotel. We planned it at Marquette. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then we had 150 people come, and it was great. I mean, it was young people, it was old people, men, women. You know, it was a cool group of people. So I decided that we need to have more than just a loose group of people. We should actually form a national organization. So December 3rd through the 5th, 1999, we got 50 black people in a room at the Mayflower Hotel in D.C. Mayflower Hotel in D.C. And we came up with BAEO, with the idea of the Black Alliance for Educational Options. And it was interesting because we had a big argument about, should it be African American? Mm-hmm. But we had some Jamaicans in the room, and they was like, hell no, why African American? I'm Jamaican, so you can't be arguing with Jamaicans. So we said, okay, so it'll be black. But then we had a big argument about should it be black? Because there's other people in the room said, we should say black people. And I was trying to explain, why is it that black people always have to explain why they're going to create something for black people? We're the only people who have to explain that and apologize. I'm sorry, I'm going to create something for black people. So we got rid of that argument. So then we created BAEO. Then we had the second symposium in 2000, and about 350 people came. And 90 people stayed after that to do the second part of forming the organization, which was to elect a leader. And so they elected me it was then the president of the board. And they gave me the permission to create a 29-member board, which I did. And then we had to find some money, okay, because we had this great idea, but we had zero. So I was very fortunate to have a close friendship with John Walton. And I think about him a lot. But anyway, so I called John. I said, John, I want to form this organization of black people. And he said, Howard, anything you want to do, we'll make sure you get the money. So we got a $800,000 grant from the Walton Family Foundation. And we had and that was that was like, that was right after this symposium. And so then we actually had a press conference in August of 2000, right? Yeah, August of 2000, at the press club to announce our board, announce that this organization was coming out. It was picked up by C-SPAN. And then in November of 2000, we hired our first executive director. We got the grant. Then in July of 2001, we moved our national office to D.C. And so that's how it started. And we've had a symposium each year, and except the third symposium actually then moved to become the annual meeting of BAEO. But the symposium precedes the formation of BAEO. So last year we finally reached our goal of having 1,000 people at the symposium in Philadelphia. And I think that was the 8th one, 7th one. And then in February 29th through March 1st of 2008, we're going to be in New Orleans.
We all are going to be in New Orleans.
So that's how BAEO started.